There are not many electric estates on the market yet. Peugeot says, hey, we will deliver you one. And they also want to deliver that at a decent price. Does it work? We'll find out here with Thomas in 4K, full screen, full length, with the Peugeot E308 SW. So new generation 308, then the electric version, and it's both available as hatch or as the estate. We're going to focus on this one. It is in the GT trim, that's the sportier trim, and in the front we can see they do not focus on an electric look, they just want it to look cool. And I think that's also the right decision. Or what do you think? Should electric vehicles look like electric vehicles? I think there's no necessity for that. Then the new Peugeot logo has been introduced with this generation. Then headlamps here, LED standard and optional matrix LED. But in this GT trim here in the EV version, they're already standard. The length at 4.64 m or 183 inches. That's 27 centimeters or 11 inches longer than the hatch version. They both have 5 doors, obviously. It's just that the estate has some slightly longer wheelbase and of course then the longer overhang. Let's see what are the difference in the interior later on. It's a very clean design also here, contrasting roof rails. This all in high gloss black here than in the lower part. 18-inch wheels are also standard here for the EV version. They have somewhat an aerodynamic look. Turning indicators in the front, pretty fancy, right? So they replaced this vertical daytime running light then, and it's supposed to be this lion claw. Well, the turning indicator sound, I think I have to get used to that, right? Look at that, how the tail lamps are shaped with the running light inside there. Then the turning indicators and the whole shape is like a sports car in estate form, isn't it? I think design-wise they really nailed it. But wait a minute. Is this a case for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police? I would say it's a fake exhaust silhouette or something. Now it's time to show the real capability of this vehicle. Because it's an estate. Let's open the hatch. Electric one, there we go, and then 550 up to 1570 liters. Here, this one you fold up like this. Okay, at least it has rails left and right. And then here is a good meter or 40 inches in the width. Underneath here, so nice floor cover here by the... Oh, I have to fold up these first. That's not the most practical solution. Then fold this up, small space just for the charging cable. So after all, you have to think about where would you put the charging cable here. It's small here, no frunk and so on. Okay, and so here when there's luggage, there's still so much space left. The length here, there's of course a big difference then to the hatch. Here is good meter or 40 inches as well. And the height is of course here also very interesting. Here in the back, there's like 70 centimeters or 27 inches. And last but not least, we can fold the seats already from here, left and right, like this. And you see they fold down very nicely. And the total length then to the seats as we would be driving is here at about 175 in centimeters or 69 inches. Car key, the one that Peugeot and Citroën have been using for ages. Just that they updated the logo here now. Door closing sound. Decent. Like that. That's pretty cool. Some beepings where because of the ignition on. Then here top part is somewhat soft touch at the inside of the doors. Even softer than here the high grade leatherette at the shoulder part. Window levers are somewhat basic and also in the lower part here basic. But we have at least a felt like this, felt covering on the top lower part, so that when you put things in there, they are not making so much sounds, not flying around that much. Seats, sporty style, and in the GT trim here, in the EV version, you always get the microfiber. That's pretty fancy. Good quality from the seat, pretty much the highlight. And welcome to this cockpit. Soft touch here in the lower part, all the structure also on the top part. Then here in the EV version, you have these green contrasts. Then 10-inch screen. In this higher trim you also have these buttons in the lower part. So these are, let's say, digital hotkeys you can use, but you have to X this view first, like this. That this build up, I think, yeah, we could also live with that. Zoom more details to that. Lower console. Here you have the gear selector, like D and reverse, P, B for the recuperation mode. Inductive charging pad underneath here. Then USB-C charging. You can slide these ones open for the cup holders. Cubby hole without any covering here. But this is pretty cool here. Soft touch leatherette. And then it opens like this for more space underneath and USB-C charging. Click, click. And the steering wheel is always special with Peugeot, isn't it? It is this gaming-alike steering wheel. Manual adjustment like this, in and out, up and down. I usually have it in the lowest position. Then only the lowest part of these instruments are blocked. You can also get in with a three-dimensional view. Then you have different layers on the inside. Under the infotainment system, you have hard keys. You press them. It's like this cockpit style, I would say. This, for example, leads to the climate unit. This one here to some vehicle functions. And on the left side here, you still have a manual volume jog. Headroom here, by the way, with 189, 602. Plenty of headroom on the left. The only thing is here the head restraint of the seat. That is kind of really stiff and hard. The only negative point, I would say. But the comfort in the seat in general is really awesome. Great support, at the same time good comfort. Rear seats, first of all the doors, hard pack everywhere actually. Then the rear seating materials here in the GT trim. Once again, wow, it's a very cool microfiber also with this stitching here that feels really nice. So the comfort in general is good. However, you might think, hey, this is the estate version and it should have more legroom than the hatch because it also has more wheelbase. Not really. The legroom doesn't rise much. It's all one went into the trunk. So here, both hatch and the estate, there is not much legroom when there is a tall driver in front. That's the thing. But yeah, I mean, the comfort is good when you have short legs or when the driver is not that tall. Headroom, however, is no problem. Charging, 11 kilowatt AC, 100 kilowatt DC peak, still 30 minutes, 10 to 80% state of charge. Now in the driving part. Acceleration, let's go. Plop, that's 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour. Plop, and that's 120. So, on paper it says 10 seconds here for the electric version, the E308. We have to check in the time codes if that also fitted the official thing. Noise insulation is really decent. That's one of the key things they worked here on with the new generation of the 308. So if you compare predecessor 308 to this 308 here, there's really large difference. And also I tested it very early stages to some of the competitors. For example, we had a Seat Leon there against the Peugeot 308, and this one here was way more silent, especially on the motorway at higher speeds. So done a good job to give you a little bit more elaborated feeling. That's also what we talked about in the interior part. Lane change here on the motorway. Yeah, really starting to get the feeling for the vehicle. Already here on the motorway, it's fun. Of course, I also want to take it to winding corners, but use the motorway here even more for the assistance systems. So we can activate them here on the steering wheel. One click, assistance off, cruise control, or then the drive assist. Drive assist then the most elaborated function. And then I set it here. Also have the green symbol in the instruments. And now with active lane keeping assist, let's see how smooth that works. So far so smooth, I would say. Yeah, I mean, you don't feel the movement, although you see here the motorway, it bends a little bit to the left. That's actually cool. Also another thing that was main focus of this new generation, upgrade all of the assistance systems. Hold the steering wheel, Thomas. Yeah, you're supposed to keep your hand on the steering wheel, and if you do not do that, then this warning should come again. So that is, again, not the most elaborated system. But you again have to think about the price. And now some countryside routes. Let's check out the agile driving. You can also once again go to the sport mode. In the roundabout, really nice. Oh, some more throttle input now. Going out there. Yeah, it's really a lot of fun to steer this vehicle around. Yeah, really love it, like really enjoying the drive. At the same time, comfort from these sport seats. The cool thing about this vehicle is it feels special, although it's not so high in the price. Yeah, the only catch is of course the small battery. We'll soon tell you more about what it is about the real world range and so on. And after our extensive testing loop for you here today, 16 kilowatt hours on 100 kilometers, that's around 4 miles per kilowatt hour, means a real world range of about 320 kilometers or 200 miles. Not too much. Yes, the battery is not that large. Yet again, the price is also not that high. So it always depends. There is this argument where you say, hey, small battery, also less resources and so on, and more sustainable in a way. Yes, that's true. But then there's also the argument, and I do share that, the latter one, that when you have one vehicle with a bigger battery, you can use it for everything. With a smaller battery, it's always limited, city use and so on, not longer trips. And so you need it maybe as a secondary car. And is that sustainable? Yeah, you can argue both ways. What would you argue? Please share your opinion in the comments. And if you want to go for an estate with a bigger battery, it will be, for example, the VW ID.7 or the Zeekr 001.